I think he lives here.
How do you know the kids?
Yes.
We have to find out what's going on now.
Dad, did you get fired? Oh, no, downsized.
My daddy got fired.
Starting today, you are all employees of the Keller Family Corporation.
Come on! We will get through this together, mother and daughter.
I plan on applying every rule I ever learned in the world of business to the business of parenting.
No, this ruins everything.
What's the matter with all the kids today? They might be growing up.
What are you doing?
Getting to know you better.
Describe Eli's long-term goals.
Puberty.
Great!
A company is calling for you?
That sounds like...
Results.
Okay.
You using the military alone.
Oh, you agree? You agree with that?
And
You agree with that?
That puts you on the path. No, that puts you on the path of the government. That puts you on the path of the government. Hold on. And that is the reason why we do not need the 6 month extension.
I have been listening to you. Will you listen, barrister? I know lawyers argue a lot. I know lawyers argue a lot. No,
Nigerians.
Let me make this point. Let me make this point.
In the south.
Attacks have been limited to villages and suburbs. In the main city, in Adamawa, in Yobe, and Borno State, activities of the Boko Haram has been limited.
Have you asked yourself?
Do you agree?
Have you asked yourself?
That in the main cities it has been limited? It has been.
Why?
It has been.
Have you asked yourself why?
I have.
Why?
All right, did you just see that? Did you just see that? I mean, that was when it all started. And, you know, Ishaman just don't agree, you know, like that Ishaman
Back then.
All right.
I've taken Ethiopia.
Anyway, it's just normal. We're all growing. That's just 1 year of television activities and broadcast. And believe you me, it can only get better. It can only get better. It's our 1 year and it's our celebration time. And please, if you are anywhere close to our corridor, you are free to walk in. Nobody's going to stop you. Come in, celebrate with us. We have beautiful things that we have prepared and a lot of other wonderful things in store. So be a part of our celebration today, and the good Lord will bless you. Now, let's quickly move on the show. Let's quickly let you know that while the XY boss of the EFCC was sacked yesterday, the president, you know, eventually named Ibrahim Mangu as replacement of, as the chairman of the EFCC. Now, let's quickly tell you 1 or 2 things about him. Mangu, an assistant commissioner of police, was one of the early recruits in the anti-graft agency by its pioneer, Chairman Malam Nuri Badu. His most recent assignment was a member of the committee set up by the Buhari administration to probe the procurement of arms in the armed forces from 2007 to date. Because of his perceived incorruptible posture, he was made the head of Sensitive Economic Governance Unit ECG or EGC or EGU, now which handles investigation of senior public officials. As head of the EGU, some of the investigations is spearheaded included the alleged involvement of Senate President Bukola Saraki in the collapse of Society General Bank of Nigeria, and James Ibori, former governor of Delta State, who is serving jail time in the United Kingdom for money laundering. He also played a very major role in the investigation and eventual jailing of former managing director of the Bank of the North, Shetima Mohammed Bulama, who happens to be his brother-in-law. Now, Ishama, are we saying, looking at the posture, the record, the experience, the tenacity, the doggedness, the incorruptible values of Ibrahim Mangu, are we looking for, what are we looking at in the EFCC? Because this body language, this body language thing of the president, putting Ibrahim Mangu as the chairman of the EFCC, is speaking volumes.
Yes, it is. But the issue, like all other EFCC bosses, they've always had one issue. And that issue the issue has always been the issue of the cabal, the issue of them overstepping the boundaries. So they were limited.
Sacred cows.
Exactly. So the issue now is, will Ibrahim Mangu have this challenge, this same challenge about this cabal, these untouchable people? Would he have the immunity, would he have the support of this government, of Nigerians and the international community, and the protection also to go out there and face whoever it is that needs to be faced and bring them to their knees for the crimes which they have perpetrated against this country. That I cannot answer.
Now we'll wait and see. All right, let's tell everybody involved in economic and financial crime that there's a new sheriff in town. Watch out for Ibrahim Magu. He's the new head of the EFCC, and everything is pointing to the fact that a lot of people who are involved in crimes, financial or otherwise, will be in trouble really very soon. Now let's go to our next story. The Inspector General of Police set up a unit to urgently address police brutality. Now talk about police brutality. I mean, it's just unfortunate. Members of the public who have suffered brutality and victimization in the hands of the police will soon have a sigh of relief, as the Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, has approved the setting up of a complaint unit. The operation of the squad will be launched this Friday, and that means a lot of people who have been seeking justice for unlawful killing, of victimization, of brutality of their family members or they themselves, we eventually have reason to smile. At least, you know, there will be a form of closure, you know, that will be coming to this. Now, the question I want to ask Ishoma is, why do police officers brutalize, victimize, kill, you know, at will? Because at every point in time, you realize that they just become very trigger-friendly, trigger-loving, bullet romancing, and before you know it, we have bad cases in our hands. And let me tell you something: children who knew nothing to members of the Nigerian society who have dependencies. Parents are gone leaving their children because of police brutality and victimization of one form or the other. But the truth is just that, how come it's taking this late for a unit to be set up within the Nigerian police to look critically and closely and judgmentally into the affairs of police who engage in brutality and victimization? You
asked me a question. Why the members of the police force engage in such act? It's like asking, Ishoma, why do we eat? I can tell you, I eat because I love food and it's necessary that I eat. But some people eat because they have that insatiable quest for food, craving for food, which has become like an abnormality. So if you ask me, why did the police do what they do? And it always leads to trouble, because you eventually have them, you know, on the obese side. So you understand? Because and most times with some illnesses also.
Some illnesses, yeah.
But the thing is, over time in Nigeria, I have, because of some encounters, some personal encounters I've had with members of the police force, I can say that the major reason why they engage in such activities is because, one, these individuals are not properly trained. They do not know the duties and responsibilities of a police officer to the Nigerian citizen. So these are people who are ignorant of their duties and of what it is to protect and enforce the law. So they misbehave. And also because they also have the gun. So these are ignorant people, and then they use the gun to behave in ways which they think is right. Now, when you say ignorant,
wait, see, Ishoma, when you say ignorant, I have a problem with that.
Ignorance of the law. No, ignorance of the law. Yeah? Ignorance of what duties of a policeman entails.
That's where I'm going. That's I have a question for you. I disagree totally that they're ignorant. The Nigerian police trained them.
No.
Wait, the Nigerian police trained them. Then the problem will not be the police officers any longer if really and truly ignorance is a problem. Do you know why? You give a gun to an ignorant police officer.
There's something we need to understand here. You said training. Yeah. What kind of training do these individuals
Wouldn't
get?
They train them how to use the gun and what to use the gun for?
The issue is not just about training them on what to use the gun for or how to use the gun. The issue is society is developing. Society is changing. These individuals need to be trained and retrained and retrained, because as society is growing and developing, new trends are emerging. So these individuals need to understand how to arrest hostile situations without first reaching for the gun. But most times, in fact, have you seen how these individuals are trained? For you to tell if these are proper training, there are so many things they can do. I mean, you can use a taser. For example, if you see this person is resisting arrest, or this individual is being aggressive.
You can use a demobilizer. You can use, there are so many things you can use.
Reaching for the gun, and even if at all you must reach for a gun, there are so many areas where the individual can be shot at to, to demobilize that individual at that
Instead
point
of
in
killing
time.
them.
And while you shoot the person and you bring the person down, you're able to get the person on the person's knees. Then you should treat the person to make sure that individual does not die, but the individual lives to be able to answer for whatever allegation that individual has. But there are so many, but we've not seen that happen.
Now, let me
another
say
thing
this.
also
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
I can say also that the reason why some police officers engage in police brutality also is because most of the time, many of them act under the influence. It is unprofessional, it is criminal for a policeman to drink on duty. It is unprofessional for them to consume or take in hard drugs. But look at them, go to most of the criminal joints and you
on
see
the side
them
of the
there,
road, you see police officers smoking,
drinking shepherd, as they call it. You see them taking, hard drugs, which is unprofessional.
Let's look at it.
And many of them also, I think many of them also have some mental issues.
Let's look at it this way. I was talking to a police friend, and I asked him this question: why do police officers kill? And he told me, he said, let me tell you something. When you are in your uniform and you are faced with a particular situation, he said, what comes to mind first is for you to be safe. That the first thing that will come to your mind first, you expect that police are out there to make you feel safe. But here you are, you have a police officer who wants to be safe first. And I understand, because you need to feel safe before you can even save others. Now, even if that is correct, which I don't have a problem with, what I have a problem with is that he now went further to say something. He said, the reason why you see a lot of officers eventually releasing the trigger on somebody who is supposedly or classified as being innocent, dying in a fracas that probably broke between a police officer or a group of police officers and maybe the public, is always a classical, simple case of the police trying to still be safe. You see, because you are afraid that you can be overpowered by, the public person. You are supposed to be the law enforcer. You are supposed to be the one to make us feel safe on the road out there. You are supposed to be the one to protect us against other people who wants to probably harm us. But you are the same set of people who are harming us and killing our innocent and killing innocent Nigerians. Now, when he said that, it became an argument, and I kept on saying, you can use, just like you said, Ishoma, you can use the gun to scare. Only a fool argues with the gun. If you shoot up into a blank hair, and you do it carefully anyway, because we have had to see stray bullets killing people, so at the same time. Now, when you shoot into the air to scare people, and you have a target, believe you me, if you have 100 people somewhere and your target is one person, and you shoot in the air sporadically, and you make people really realize that we are not carrying toy guns, there are real bullets inside this gun. A lot of people will go away, you will scare away 80 to 90% out of the 100 people that are there.
But do you know it's wrong to also shoot into the air? Aside the fact that you're putting other innocent people's lives in danger,
yes.
Also, why do we have policemen on the street? Is it not to arrest situations like this, criminal situations?
Don't know a Nigerian that is harmed.
And then you're shooting into the air. That's you sending signal to the miscreants that we are here. And then these individuals will run away.
Oh, no, that's in an
obviously.
That only happens. That is only bad in an armed robbery case. When you have a pandemonium, when you have a chaos, when you are in Oshodi, for instance.
Water cannon. You begin to. That is why I said that we need to equip the police force. We need to teach these people. Look at, even though people have had issues with the release of tear gas, but that is only in cases, exceptional rare cases. But look, water cannon, for you to disperse the crowd. We have seen innocent students who go to protest, peaceful protest, and then the next thing you see them shooting. That is wrong. Look, these policemen to understand that if you want to disperse the crowd, there are so many things you can do to disperse these people peacefully.
Now, Ishoma, let's be very realistic.
Peacefully.
If you see an angry mob, this is not making up for the Nigerian police, because I have had victims, close people to me, who are fallen victim of police brutality and victimization. And I can tell you very wholeheartedly, it throws it is painful We felt the pain. It was really very bad because the family that it happened to, that I know very well, this particular experience that I said I have, is the only guy in the family. And he's become like a breadwinner. The entire family are looking up to him. And all he did, and what happened? He got home, he got into the house, and he just came out again to stroll. Sometimes you just wonder why some certain things happen. He just came back from work, he got into the house, dressed down, and he just took a stroll. I think they said he went to the barbers. There were conflicting stories. And now these police officers were coming, and they were picking people at random. Yeah, for wandering. And he decided to run. And in the process of running, one of the officers ran after him, and he got to a gate. And so when they got there, people said that he charged back at the police officer because he was resisting arrest. See, this is my house. That's my house there. I'm not wandering. I just came back from work. He was trying to explain to them. And before you knew what was happening, one other officer who saw that he was at a close range with the other police officer assumed that he was actually harassing or fighting the police officer, and he shot him. And that boy died. We had a case that happened in Ogba some time ago. It was during the elections. This was the election that brought in President Goodluck Jonathan, main 4th term. They were playing football because they didn't go to vote. They don't have voters card and all of that. And the police came to scare them away when the elections were going to start. And they were like, no, we're not disturbing anybody. Don't forget that in Lagos and everywhere in Nigeria, on Saturdays, people take advantage of just using, the small area they have to play football and unwind and do that.
Which is wrong. And
they eventually, it is wrong enough that they are playing football. It become wrong, permit my use of language. It is wronger when the police now will come and kill part of them. Do you understand? You understand what I'm saying?
That's the reason why I say all of this is about training. Look, society has advanced. Security now in the world has advanced. That there are so many ways a police officer can arrest such situation without releasing the trigger.
All right.
Because of the training they get, if they get proper training, there are ways you can even bring a 6-foot man down peacefully without having any bodily injury of any sort, and you can handcuff him and take him for questioning.
Okay, anyway, Ishoma, we'll talk about this because, it's really becoming popular in our society. In Nigeria particularly, and everywhere, Lagos, Abuja, especially in the major cities that are really densely populated. I know there are so many unlawful activities going on, and police need to do their job, but how they do it and how they get the right result is the issue. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll still be talking about police brutality, what government is expected to do, and what police are expected to do, and then what we should do as lawful or law-abiding citizens of Nigeria. Let's go now. We'll be right back. All right, still going on the show. This is Crossfire on Cool TV. At the same time, it's our celebration time. And don't forget, we are open to everybody who wants to come and celebrate with us. Come, Chocolat Royale is open, Métis is open, and our gates are open for all our customers and especially our guests on Crossfire. Everywhere where you're watching us, online, on channel 57 UHF, and on our terrestrial platform, and you just still want to be a part of our show, it's just high time you got involved with us because it's time for us to begin to fly. Now, Ishoma, we're talking about police brutality. Yeah. Now, you were talking about train them. I am saying train and retraining. I am saying for the Inspector General of Police to say this unit is set up to start probing them. It means they are already trained.
Okay.
You see, because if you are not aware, if you are not aware of the law,
we see the behaviors, we've seen their behaviors over time.
Okay, what will they judge them with? No, what will they judge them with when they probe them?
Now, as it is right now,
what will be the
as it is right now, I am of the opinion that it is beautiful that a constitution or a committee is being set up to look into the activities because according to what popular panel that these individuals have been trained. But I'm of the opinion that, look, it is good this is coming at this point in time that we're having this committee. But while this committee is in motion and probing activities, let these individuals be retrained. So there won't be any excuse that, oh, well, I did not know or I thought there won't be any reason for assumption, because when a pro panel is set up, this issue will come up. This issue of assumption, I thought, or I did not know, I forgot, will always come up. We do not want people who will give excuses for their negligent activities. So set up this pro panel. We'll set up a committee to look into the activities, but retrain. But the other issue is, and that is the most important thing, is we need to have a proper overhauling of the police system. A lot of people who are in the police force right now, they need to go. And we need to re-inject fresh blood. We should have a bar, a criteria. Who are the people we want to be in the police force?
So what
is there any mental evaluation for these people?
From your explanation now, Ishoma, what we should be talking about when it comes to the Nigerian police will not be training and retraining. It should be a re-engineering. And I'll tell you...
Re-engineering,
which we eventually, I mean, training will be there.
Yes.
Part of re-engineering. Training is always part of it. Now, yesterday when he was briefing the media on the objectives of the unit in Abuja, the officer in charge, Commissioner of Police, Abayomi, said the effort is aimed at winning public trust and confidence as police force all over the world are becoming more open to the citizen and the public, which they serve through being more accountable. Now, the point here is that I have another very classical example of a guy. He was having a fight in the same house. They live in the same house. They were neighbors, and then neighbor went wild, or let me say, living in the same house, eventually gone bad. They were fighting over something, I think parking space or nothing. In the morning when you were parking out, you actually scratched my car. You should have called me to let me know. Don't make it look like, you didn't do anything. People saw you when it happened, but you should have called me. You know I was still in the house, and you could have even reported to my wife, since my wife was actually at home. You should have just told her, oh, I'm sorry, while I was reversing, I hit your husband's car and I broke his light. Eventually, this argument, went bad, and he went to pick up a police who happens to be his friend to come and arrest this guy. And they came really and truly the moment the guy came back from work. They arrested him, took him to the police station, and in the night he was there with them. They were all together, and he told them, let him write a statement and blah, 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 blah. That what is even annoying me is the fact that he's even claiming right. You hit my car, you damaged my car and everything. And they left that guy overnight because he actually was making trouble with the police. And so the neighbor wanted him to go back the same night because the police officer who arrested happened to be his friend. So it was like, I just want him to know that you don't just do things anyhow. So it was supposed to be like a scare. But on the long run, he got to the police and he started arguing with them. And so the police officer who was in charge said, I'm not releasing you tonight, and I want to see what you're going to do. And they kept him there. Do you know by the time they returned back there the next morning, he was dead? What happened? Nobody knows. And now the guy in question was more like, no, this is not supposed to be. I was supposed to just scare this guy. I just wanted to make a statement. I just wanted him to know that what he did was wrong.
There's a lot of investigation that needs to be done.
It went on and on and on. I didn't even follow up any longer.
As regards the police we have today,
really and truly.
They have let the Nigerian people
slogan,
down.
Let's say it together, if you still remember. What is the slogan of the Nigerian police?
Are you sure they're your friends?
Police is your friend.
Are you sure?
Police is actually our friends, and we should see them.
I don't know about that.
Really and truly, we should see them as one. But
until we have proper retraining and we have a new
they have
police
since lost our public confidence. They've since lost public trust and public confidence. And I believe that the Nigerian police need a rebranding. A lot of things has happened. They say when you look at them, they wear black uniform. When you look at them, they carry guns. They shoot at will. When you look at them, they operate mostly in the night. And bad things happen in the night.
So most times we start with a name tag.
There was an argument.
For proper identification.
Can you remember there was an argument when President Olusegun Obasanjo was elected for his second term in 2003, when he was saying maybe the reason why the Nigerian police are misbehaving and killing people, victimization and brutality all over the places is because we call them the Nigerian police force. That maybe we should take the force out of it and let's make them the Nigerian police. Because everywhere in the world you have the New York, you have NYPD, you have LAPD. It is just Los Angeles police. It is just New York police. It is just
even
Houston
the other
police.
Metropolitan
But we have the Nigerian police force. So they have to use force to do everything. Force to get statement out of your mouth. Force to take you to the police station. Force to check your vehicle particulars. Force, it is force to do everything.
Whereas the police should be the most friendly of all security agents.
I tell you very sincerely.
We need to work hard on our police unit.
Anyway, this is just, I mean, it's just really very pathetic that this is what we have at the moment in our hands. But notwithstanding, we believe very strongly that the body language still, or the action language which we are expecting of the new administration, we eventually reshapen, reorientate, retrain, rebrand, re-engineer the Nigerian police for a better Nigerian police force. That's what we're looking off to. We really want the slogan to be real, that police is your friend. Thank you so much, all of you who have been a part of our show, wherever you're watching us or whatever platform you're watching us from. We'll be back tomorrow with another fantastic set of episodes. And don't forget, it's our celebration, it's our 1 year. Join us and let us celebrate together. All right, let's get the party started.
So, did you like what you just saw? I know you did. It's very simple. If you want to see more, just subscribe to our channel right now.